Hello and welcome back to round 12 of WTCL. We are here in Bathurst, and this is the second Rumble round of the weekend, and the first part of it. That's
Get
from
to see
Winfield and
Winfield
Paul.
and Perez at the front in race one again. Well, that's a very even start. Oh, that's a very close start. Through time one we go. Winfield just ahead. Oh, Darman might be sending one here. As race on. Winfield gets away from Perez, who's under pressure from Darman. Then comes Iskander, who's up to fourth. And he started fifth. Through up the hill we go. 3 wide almost, as Jensen was thinking about sending one between cars there. Christmas
Cruising
was blown
around
up before he's blown up before we even got to the hill.
from P3, P2
Yeah,
after the start.
that's big for flat. That's not good news for Flatland. With Malcolm Jenney showing some good pace this weekend. Of course, the Flatland versus Liberté battle. One for the lead from Perez and Darwin, and then comes Iskander.
And they're holding up the field. What's Winley into P7?
As he
It's
nearly
a
gets
crucial car.
smashed by Almedia. Through there we go. They're going side by side. It's going to get pretty tight. He's up to 7th though ahead of Almedia.
Where is Lorenzo? Lorenzo is 12.
Not good for Bergian. But of course, there's always the sprint race, so we'll see what happens there.
And rising up to 9. It's also crucial because, yeah, he started 11.
Bison's just not had qualifying pace in weekends for whatever reason. He didn't really. Well, he set 1-1 in yesterday and then didn't improve, and today he just never did anything. So,
Yeah,
we'll
so
see what happens with Bison, but he's
come on
beginning to
guys,
work his way in the field.
come
Canada's
to
fighting with the ITCL cars, so that kind of shows how good Nürburg are. Although he's going to breeze past Jane and probably Chevalier in this straight now. But there we go. Should look further down there as Farhan. So you have a look further up the
I,
field.
I think Dupont are getting 2 positions.
Oh, yellow flags.
Side of
Oh, and that's
Darman.
Darwin with his second DNF of the weekend. Now, he was running in P3. So that's big. Santos were finally about to have a competent result on the board. And then the car
Yeah,
said no.
yeah, but they have terrible reality this season, as well as
Kind of
no
like
upgrade.
season 3. So there we
Yeah,
go.
and there.
Now the fight for
Oh,
P3 is
it's
being.
kind of up to P3.
Yeah, it's kind of running P3. He's having a nice little weekend at Jensen 4th and J5th.
Finlay 6th.
Yep. And
Unbelievable.
where is Lorenzo 11? So he's not in the points. There's Camino, who did clear off the ITCL cards, as we probably expected, to be fair.
No, probably not taking Hazard.
Well, we'll see. As he is ahead, but Hazard will come back to the inside.
That's for P4.
Yep. Behind them, Farfan gets racy with St. Martin. So we head up the hill. They've all kept it alive for now. But we'll see. Trevian is ahead. St. Martin now goes ahead of Hazard. Or at least attempts to. Hazard's going to try and fight that, but he can't. Now it might come under pressure from Farfan as
Oh,
Alwine and he gets spun by Depois. But has kept it going.
by losing 2
Depois' bad
positions.
weekend continues to get worse as he might lose out to now a Lolo and a Lava in about 2 corners. Thankfully he doesn't lose out to the Lolo. That really would have been a new Lolo for him. But either way, running down the hill. Perez and Winfield fighting for the lead.
But it is gaining.
See, could Perez try and do an Iskander-esque tactic here? No, she hasn't got anywhere
Getting
near the
ready.
exit. Although that was a mistake by Winfield.
Yeah, Winfield the moment there.
We've seen these two come together already this weekend, of course, on lap 1 of the first race yesterday. Winfield makes a bad mistake. He's already
Maybe into
fighting
turn
the
one.
car. We'll see as we head down here. Will Perez have a look heading towards the hill? Iskander still holds third from Jensen and 1J. Then late fighting Wormedia, then Vice, and then Corleone and Mathers with Lorenzo Rose back, and then Comida rounding out the WTCL cars. But let's see. Perez goes to the move. Here we go. Down the inside on Winfield, who's obviously going to try and fight this. That wasn't really a question. She's actually come back slightly to the lead. They're basically wheel to wheel up the hill. Perez nearly goes into the wall. Still side by side. There's nothing in this. Winfield slightly ahead. Perez still going to send it down the inside. Going to try and do the Trevelyan overtake.
Yeah, but there's no space there.
Not going to happen there. And now the gap to Iskander has come right down to 7 tenths per second. It was about, what, 3 seconds? So, from them fighting hard, all of a sudden that gap to Iskander behind has now completely evaporated.
There's battle for P5 in ITCL. In Hazard, Farfan and Despoto. And then Mr. Miller completely off the pace the whole weekend. Perez dropped back and it's now Iskander who pressures the Stoffel.
See, Iskander now right onto the back of Perez. As they come out the final corner. And all the while, Mikael Jensen is right behind them in 4th, searching his big breakthrough result. On the podium, perhaps, with some very credible drivers ahead of him. Let's see. As we head towards it, now we have seen Perez try to make an overtake here. Let's see if Jensen or Iskander feel the same way. Iskander's going to do it. Can he do what Perez couldn't do to Winfield? He's committed to the inside, and he is slightly ahead. Perez gets better traction on the outside. Question is, how's Jensen going to fare in this fight? Well, he's sending one down the inside. He's looking for a way through. You can see it. He's looking for a way past Iskander. Perez gets a bit out of shape in the rear. That might allow Iskander one last chance, but he can't get the traction, and he's not going to be able to get it done. All the while, now guess who's been dragged into this fight? Yet 1J, Conley, Almedia, and Bison. So it's now a 7-car train per second. So there is that to contend with. Behind them, we can see Corleone, Malthus, Lorenzo Rose back and Comita. As we see St. Martin and Trevelyan fighting for what is 5th place, no, 4th in the ITCL.
Dupla cleared the Sanago and now taking Farfan. The problem is that Chavari is really far ahead.
Well, let's see. So we have a look now at a couple of the other drivers. As we have a look, as I think that's a move being made by Mathus on Corleone for 9th place.
Please.
And Mathus gets the place. Nothing's in 9th place. Now can Trevelyan make his way up into the top 10 and get a point? No. All the while behind them is in 12th place Roseback. Just see Farfan and Dupois fighting. There's Sonoga, there's Alward, there's Smith and Miller.
Oh, and that's Weisenat ahead of Almedia.
Yep. Manu actually lost a bit of time, so maybe he's had a moment or a mistake somewhere.
No move this time up the hill. The WTCL.
You go. Let's see if St. Martin has a look on Trevelyan. Will she into the hill? No, she won't. Desbedov might on Hazard, though. And it is for
Read the move.
P6. Fairly easy, that one in the
Oh!
end. Although, as I say
Was
that,
but I love the back end.
Hazard might be able to come back and claim P6 again, but looks as if Desbedov's got the place and got the track position, and he is ahead. Up to P6. Half distance gone. We can now look forward here to Winfield, followed by Perez, Iscan, Jensen, 1J. Vinlay is running in 6th.
Oh, Sky goes off the track.
See what people are looking for manoeuvres. We'll see when into the final corner if anyone does anything. Doesn't look like they are. But let's see. As they all come together. Looks like a move being made by Armedia on Winfield. Not Winfield, Bison, trying to get back the place he'd lost. Not going to happen.
Hamlin is too far behind.
Door very firmly slammed shut there by Bison.
And Biden now right on the rear bumper of Finley.
Let's see, up
There's
the
the
hill,
move.
and he is going for the move. And the NV just that much quicker than the upside down to the point where that's not even really a fight. And Bison up into the top 6 now, after starting 11th, so
Yeah,
going
well,
to make up some places.
the P7 is still good for upside down.
Yep, especially with Lorenzo not in the points at the moment. And with Vinlay out qualifying Lorenzo as well. So
Yeah.
it's all about just closing the gap, slow intervals. We mentioned it yesterday. If the gap is 12 points, that's nothing. You can close that in a race. Get like 2 or 3 out of this weekend. All of a sudden, it's 10, 9, maybe even 8 or 7. All of a sudden, all you need now is one half decent result. And so we see St. Martin getting ahead of Trevelyan up into, I do believe that is 4.
Fourth, yeah.
This block holding off Hazard, although Hazard's going to come back.
Oh, the same place as Despot overtook Hazard.
And this time it's Hazard who gets ahead of
Yeah.
Desbedov. Meanwhile, behind him in 8th place is Farfan, and in 9th place is Dupois. Could be a really good result this for Waterford, because Chevalier took pole and he's currently winning, and Dupois is absolutely nowhere. Miller also pipped for some reason. It's terrible anyway.
Who matters? Jumped Almeida. Which means that Winley got a big gap
Actually, he's now on the
behind.
back of Bison.
Yeah. He didn't drop back as expected.
What?
Let's see what can Winley do, maybe. We can retake 6. What's also interesting is that Perez just cannot be faster than Iskander or Jensen or Kim Win-jae, but not the drivers you would say are on the same level as Amara Perez. And even in car development, the Stoffels are usually stronger than these, the Shogun-Yokai, the Ferro Grinds and the Ironside.
Well, let's see. Because this guy was, to be fair, looked pretty solid all weekend.
Yeah, meanwhile, Weising got a 7-second lead.
Oh. See, at one stage, Perez was right on the back of Winfield, but ultimately it hasn't happened for her today. Lorenzo's actually up into the top 10 now, so he will get a point for that, depending on, obviously, tomorrow. But it is good for him, as we see. Oh my god, not again. Okay, I was going to say. So now head through the hill. There's Alwa, Smith, and Miller.
No overtakes this time.
Perhaps Corleone gonna set one up there, but not gonna happen. Little decent.
Oh, Perez come off the
Huge
track.
mistake by Perez. How
Just
no one's
rejoined.
got past her, no idea.
Just rejoined ahead of Iskandar.
But now
Perez
she
is
might
really
be under pressure
struggling.
heading towards the hill. Well, we did see yesterday as well, Perez retired. I think it was at least 2. So perhaps something wrong with the car this weekend. Maybe the setup or the overall pace isn't there. But he's just not there in the races for Perez. I know she won yesterday, but since then, I mean, it's not been great. Now she might end up losing out to a pensioner in Mikael Jensen. So, let's see. Although this is also not something new for Mara Perez, her being inconsistent as anything. During her time at Esther in the main WTCL, she was either winning or she was literally nowhere, so... At least for now, she's beginning to stretch the gap to Iskander a little bit. Oh, Winfield about to lap Miller. Miller is faster through this part of the track though, where the ITCL cars are better.
I mean,
the moment they get out of the middle sector though, Winfield's going to breeze by with minimal fuss. Oh, Miller nearly slams into the wall. And yeah, now they come onto the straight, Winfield's going to get ahead. Oh, Jensen will slide.
oh,
Moved down the
Bison
inside by Bison
J.
and J. Yep. But Wilson was forced to make a correction there, and that's going to slow him down a little bit, so that's good news for 1J. Amadea winning in 9th, just ahead of Lorenzo. And Corleone goes back to Camida. Let's see.
This could be an overtake.
Could be. And of course, if Lorenzo can start cutting the gap to Finlay.
But Lorenzo dropped back, and Corleone was really close.
All of a sudden, it's turn. Oh, Bison and 1J are fighting. And Bison's got ahead. He's done, I think, the Iskander overtake, where he's gone on the outside, got the foot, and got ahead. So from 11th to 5th, and then we've still got 2 minutes 50 to go, Bison's stringing together a solid drive again in the race. And 1J, Finlay, and Mathers.
Perez wide again.
Blocked up, big mistake. Iskander nearly hits. Well, I think they did make contact.
Yeah, Perez is really struggling with the tires. Iskander's
going to have a better run of it, though, and I think he's going to be ahead before they even get to the corner. So Perez is going to drop to 3rd here. She might come back down the inside.
Miller is in bad position.
And now they're going to bump into Miller going for the middle sector. And how much is he going to spice this up? I think 1J and Bison fighting again.
And Matthias got out of Windley.
Oh.
And that's in the background. That's Roseback and Lorenzo.
Might drop out of the points there as he's fighting with Roseback. And then Corleone is behind all of this. Yeah, he actually drops out the points.
Oh, Lorenzo's out.
Lorenzo's out. That's massive for upside down. Now the bad news is that's holding up Corleone and Comida. And there's not really a place to pull over there. Right, so here we go. Perez coming back at Iskander. This race is really heating up in the dying laps of the race. As Miller is behind them, Perez nearly gets spun. Iskander going to come back down the inside, then Perez gets the inside. Look at the train, it goes back to Finlay in 8th. Perez is ahead of Iskander, Jensen's going down the inside, Iskander gets out of shape. Meanwhile in the background there you can see Mathers going down the inside on Bison. Jensen goes down the inside of Iskander, there's Mathers on the inside of Bison. And it looks as if Mathers has got the place, has he? No. Although I tell you what, that got close and he's still sneaking one down the inside. Meanwhile behind these is Finlay and Almeida. The good news is they've all cleared off Mathers, not Mathers, Miller. No, actually they haven't. Miller is still there. I thought they would have cleared him off by a mile by now. So Perez is the only one who's cleared him. As now Jensen's going to have to waste an overtake down the inside of him.
Miller is not letting them.
Miller is here for carnage. Because they all managed to hold each other up for the middle sector, and then when they came to the final sector, they were too far back from him. Jensen clears him. Bison goes down the inside of 1J.
Miller cuts on the inside. That Bison loses momentum there. And now holds up Kim 1J and that massive for Almeida.
Who's just flown from nowhere as Finlay's trying to make a move on Mathers.
Oh,
and gets it done. He also drops behind Roseback. Miller in all of this is the roadblocks, but I think now, yeah, they're all going to start clearing them off, apart from Mathers, who eventually now is going to get past, but his race is ruined. Meanwhile, Amelia is now going to drop behind 1J, drops to 7th, so his short moment in glory is now quickly gone. Been late 8th. Might have been able to take a bit more out of the situation. Winfield's got an 11-second lead. This is Jensen and JTCL levels of dominance there. Chavaria leads the ITCL from Majedi and Menu in all of this.
Oh,
Boris fine
that's
with
what I've
Trevelyan.
dropped back. Now Dupla on Trevelyan.
Yep.
Oh, and Dupla is already on the inside, looking to the inside.
Let's see. We'll see if he can get it done here, because this is for 4th place in the ITCL. But he's dropped off massively there.
Oh, and I
see,
think
Perez is dropping. I think Perez is out. I think Perez is out.
Oh!
Whoa, Almeida!
Perez,
well,
Perez
as
out
Perez.
from P2.
Why? Well, that's massive.
Oh,
that puts Iskander into 2nd and Jensen's 1st. So this is what happened with Perez. Her 2nd technically DNF for the weekend.
Probably.
Yeah, she's blown up. Tried to slow it down, but couldn't slow it down in time. Now, where... Okay, so she's in a safe position here. There's no reason... So what happened then with Almeida?
Oh!
He got collected by Finlay. That's what happened with Almeida. I thought maybe Almeida had Perez,
So
but
Ahmed
no.
event wide. Oh, and
so he was
yeah.
already losing. His rear was already out of shape. You can see it here as he came through there. He was shaving up for the middle 1J, lost the back end, which then went left and came across Finlay, who really had nowhere to go but the rear with Almeida. So late last lap drama in the WTCL as Perez blows up from 2nd. Almeida gets spun out from a good position. Roseback and Mathers are now fighting it out for 7th. Roseback are trying to please the local crowd here with a move on Mathers, but not able to get it done. So what this means now is this guy was 2nd. Jensen's on the podium despite driving in JTCL. Weisson's gone from 11th to 4th. Finlay is in 6th. Meanwhile, Lorenzo is blown up. It's all kicking off here. Back to the front though, because Savile Winfield and all of this has had the absolute dream race here. And she crosses the line to win by about half of Australia in the end. Amir Iskander, he might be about 76 years old, but he's been very solid this weekend, and he shows why you need to have faith in average drivers as he crosses the line 2nd. Jensen, despite driving in JTCL, finishes 3rd. Weisson from 11th to 4th. 1J 5th. Finlay, massive result again for Upside Down in the first race as he finishes 6th. Mathers holds off Rosebacken for 7th. 9th place across the line will be Almeida. He will at least get something. Corleone will finish 10th. Miller finishes, but he's a lap down. And also in the ITCL. Kamida is no one. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he's just not been on the pace all weekend. He's going to cross the line eventually to finish 11th. And then we're going to go focus on the ITCL crowd. Oh, kicking off here. There's Kamida. Right, now to the ITCL. Well, I don't really think anything is happening apart from Trevelyan and Dubois still fighting over nothing with Farfan behind them. Hey, there was a fight. I was in a couple of people.
Smaller fight. Yeah.
Perez, despite DNFing, Wolf still finished ahead of Miller, and that is the most hilarious part of the whole race. Right, let's see. Will Farfan make the move on Dubois? It'd be a big result, this, if they can get a top 5 here for Red Star.
Chavaria wins ITC, I mean, why?
Yep, he wins that. Jenny will finish 2nd from Menu, who got 3rd. St. Martin in 4th, then Trevelyan. Oh, this is for 6th, not
Farfan?
Never mind. No, Farfan can't get it done, but that was for 6th anyway. There's St. Martin crossing the line in 4th. Trevelyan is going to come through and finish out the top 5 as he finishes in 5th position here. Dubois will finish 6th with Farfan in 7th. Desbodov's going to cross the line in 8th. Hazard 9th. Sonogo 10th. Alwar misses out on points 11th. And then Smith's going to come home in the other finisher. 12th. Miller finished, but he was a lap down out of the points. DNF is Perez, Lorenzo, Darvan, and Christensen.
What a race.
I mean, the first race yesterday was pretty average, but since then we've had 2 absolute bangers in a row now. I mean, we thought the WTCL was going to settle down, and then Perez blew up. We see Almeida's facing the wrong direction. Finlay's come through to finish 6th. From 11th, Weissman finishes 4th. Iskander somehow snuck 2nd. Jensen, despite driving in JTCL, and that's somehow being legal, managed to finish on the podium ahead of an ITCL runner-up driver. What? How is Mikael Jensen legally allowed to drive in JTCL?
Yeah, well, next
Who?
season he will be in ITCL.
Well, that's if Project R don't loan it out to someone, which apparently seems to be their grand master plan for development or something.
Yeah, but why would you go on a loan move to a WTCL team and but not sign for a WTCL team?
Because Project R sniffed glue.
Yeah, well, that's true.
See? Take he went on to you.
Well, anyway, yeah, they got some exciting prospects. But yeah, the main points are that Wisen recovered, but the bad qualifying will have its mark on the results. Yeah, Winfield probably will win this round as Perez and Darman both DNF from second and third.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting
Could
weekend.
be anything for the
Yeah, I mean,
podium.
this weekend has obviously just been absolutely mental.
And in the ITCL, yeah, it's Christensen who will DNF from third. Yeah, Dupu had a recovery drive as well as Despoto, but he dropped back in the second part of the race.
It is, yeah, I mean, and then tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, today, later on, we got the reverse race. The WTCL, Camilo, who's been off the pace all weekend, is on pole. Mathers is second, Rosebagen's third, Weissen has good race pace, starts fourth, then Lorenzo and Vin Lay. For the ITCL, it's Miller on pole, followed by Smith, Sonogo, and Alwa. So it's gonna get even more hectic somehow.
Yeah, so we will be back with the second race, the reverse good race,
Yep.
soon. I mean, right now. And welcome back for the second part of this round 12. So Kamida P1, but Matters in P2. He's really fast all weekend to get a best start. Now Kamida will be leading after turn 1. I said jinxed him, and Kamida is down to P3.
Second cap of jinx off the weekend is was back and moves forward to P2. Kavita might not even be on the podium. Coming out of the hill section. No, he is going to hold off when so. Corleone's going down the inside now as he looks to get past a bit late, but it's not going to happen there, is it? Let's have a look. Then maybe put the inside line. Corleone would have to get a really good traction, which he has. And gets forced wide, and as a result, yeah, when they's able to just sneak down the inside, get the better grip of both. And still in there, but yeah. Oh, actually, they're still going side by side. Corleone really sticking it in there, but eventually he has to concede that he's not getting down there. Miller still leads the ITCL from Sonogo, then Smith, Desbedol, and a couple of the others. Alwar's dropped a bit, Farfan 7th, then a gap back to the west.
Oh, half an hour.
Sneak past Alwa. But not going to happen there for Farfan, is it? Let's have a look. Nope. Now he's fallen back into that train, but as we look back forward, you can see Jensen is fighting, didn't lay an 8 fight with Bison and J. Mappers leading.
Clear.
Goes back in Hamida. So we have a look further down.
Oh, that's Winfield on Perez. What?
Oh, Jesus. Why, it's not again.
Didn't happen. Oh, start one at the moment. So Christensen going on San Martin.
And St. Martin's going to get the inside. Gets back ahead.
It's 3 wide.
And here comes Shibaria. And also behind these Jenny looking for a gap. Menu as well. Oh no, Shibaria, is he gonna head of St. Martin? No. Yeah, he has. Good news for Shibaria. So he can now maybe start focusing on moving his way out of the oil.
Many slots behind Christensen. And looks to the inside immediately.
Not gonna happen there though, a bit too
Yeah.
far back.
Dupla tries to overtake Daspodov.
Oh, and now Awa has spotted an opportunity to make up a place. And he's going to try and get ahead of Dupois. And has Dupois lost out to
Yeah,
Awa?
he's
Here he
ahead.
has. So, not good news for Dupois. Back up to the WTCL action now, and Finlay has cleared ahead of Bison. He's now to 7th.
And this would be a 7th overall for Windy.
Big result. Of course, chasing down to Bergen in the gap of 12 points, I do believe. Coming into today. 7th overall gets you 6, so it's down to 6. And all of a sudden, Upside Down might stay up. That's if it stays as it is. Because Lorenzo is running P4 at the moment. Would that be enough to averagely get him a point? I don't think so.
I don't think so too. It's P10, P10, P30 and then P4.
Let's see.
Roseback is going after Matters.
Could get quite interesting.
Going for the home victory.
Yep. We'll see. As they head off the hill.
And the Wisen back ahead of Winley. Yeah, but if Winley doesn't stop falling behind, then he could. Yeah, he could get behind Almedi and Wisen overall. And move down to 10th under just 1 point.
However, 1 point given how little points there are in the relegation battle right now because of how bad Spurgeon and Upside Down are, could prove significant. They all read their way through there.
Yeah, but I think the main chance for Winley is someone retires ahead of him. Preferably
DNFs this weekend.
yeah, preferably Almeida or Wisen.
Playing developing there, and then
Yeah,
it's Miller, who is still quite nicely out in front.
Miller
For the
been awful this weekend. But looks like anyone can drive
when
fast.
your challengers are Sonogo and Smith.
Yeah, in cleaner, anyone can drive fast.
Our continuing his fight for 5th with Dupois.
Yeah, so Dupois was going after Despola, but now Auer holds him off.
Amelia, 3rd. Something happening at the front, I think.
No, but let's touch Perez first. Skandar.
Oh! And she nearly gets spun in a similar way to the way she spun Winfrey yesterday, yeah. So Amelia's into the podium. That's even worse news now for Upside Down.
Yeah,
And what makes it even worse, Wenzo is now fighting with Camino. There's Perez in the top 10. for like the other four.
And Perez is just struggling again.
Yeah, I mean, she's had qualifying pace. I mean, it's a weird, really, for Perez because she's DNF technically for the last two races. Yesterday's reverse and today's main, and then not sure if they haven't probably fixed the mechanical issue or what's gone on, but ever
Yeah,
since she won and ever since that second race yesterday, she's just not had that same pace that we saw yesterday in race one.
and she got
So for
P1.
some reason, Perez has just not really had the pace consistently this weekend we expected from her. Let's see if Lorenzo can get ahead of Camilo, because this would have massive implications.
Meanwhile, WTCL,
Yeah, not much going on.
Kristen, this is not ideal for Flatland.
But let's see. No, Rose
Yeah,
back
but
in
they
the fighting with Medio and Camilo.
already made up 4 places.
Yeah, but he was ahead of St. Laurent at some point. I remember. So
Yeah,
really picked on as he would have hoped. You can still see Alwa holding up the point.
Sanago is gaining
So
on
there
Miller.
goes, yeah, that gap was.
Lorenzo dropped behind Punjay.
Good news for upside down. He might now, under the pressure from Bison, he's in a much, much quicker car and is a much, much better driver. And all of a sudden, then it's Lorenzo in 7th and Finlay in 8th. Corleone in 9th, and then it's Canduani out the top 10. So they're about to reach halfway through the race. Heading down the hill.
And so Lorenzo would need to get ahead of Ryzen in the overall to get a point. Ryzen is P10, but for that Lorenzo would need at least a P4, I think, and Ryzen would need to retire or at least fall back to around E12.
Still 9
That's
minutes
not
to go.
ideal.
Let's see off the final corner. Bison looks for the move, does he? Might be defending from Vinlay actually.
Yeah, but let's see if they can do a switcheroo.
Well, let's see, because
No.
if Vinlay can get ahead of Bison, then it's going to be. Jensen gets ahead
Jensen
of
inside
Winfield.
of Winfield.
And then they go up to P12 for Mikael Jensen. Of course, got a podium already today.
And Jensen is second overall, but I think
Very
Iskandar
impressive
would
week.
pass him with this.
And Perez,
Oh, another
that's
mistake.
a bad mistake again. That car has just not clicked for Perez since yesterday's win, and it's a mystery as to why. Sonogo's now got the gap under a second. He's beginning to slowly work his way towards Miller. Smith's holding third, and then it's Desbido in fourth. Deprag got back ahead of Alwa, then he's fifth ahead of Alwa, and then Trevelyan, and then behind them is St. Martin and Cheveria. And then, as you see, Christensen now ahead of Hazard, so Hazard now last of the WTCL people. Mappa's leading comfortably. Amedi is fighting with Roseback, and then Vinlay did not go ahead of Bison. They now have a left. here. Trevian is trying to
Trevian.
get past Our, and then
Trevian.
Our is off to elsewhere next season, and is not particularly good.
But this Chavari and the others kind of get behind San Martin. I mean, they probably don't need to, like, Chavari will be first, Many will be second, and Jenny will be third, as twin Stan, but you would expect to see them overtaking cars after car. Oh, Kamida, Lorenzo both lost position to Bison. Now Win Lee behind Lorenzo. Kamida started first. Now he's only 6th. Doesn't look good for the Japanese driver. Perez now finally able to put some good laps in. She's now 1.5 seconds off Jensen. And here's the battle for the ITCL lead. Vagari Sanago in the Lolo against Miller in the Velocita. Yesterday they got 12 and 14. And today they are 12 and 14. It's not better, but maybe Sanago could have a chance or 10th if he can pass Miller. Five minutes left. As a 1 lap ago I said that Chavari is not able to catch San Martin. Now Chavari is ahead of San Martin. Why? Yeah, Almeida fallen back too, I think. Why did he not P4 again? Well, I reckon he could jump as high as P6 overall. And we got the first retirement, Hazard. Again. Yeah, the good old crash into the inside wall. Oh, and ITC has been really close, so Hazard could drop 2 or 3 places. Still debris on the track. Oh, why then? They just bump into the wall. They basically wall riding. As we see Sanago behind Miller. And that's what also caught up to Smith. Now currently Dubois is P9, Despotor is P10 overall. Dubois is behind Despotor. And yeah, Despotor would need to be 2 or maybe even 4 position of Dubois to overtake him to gain in the championship. But Not gonna happen. But I mean, since Nikolai left Rotad, they have been getting further and further from the championship. Oh, maybe that's a move from Winley on Lorenzo. Very important for the relegation scrap. As Lorenzo goes over the curves, and I think, yeah, Winley's ahead. Winley been really decent all weekend. Maybe they will promote him in the last 4 rounds full time. I think he has been good in Chicago too, exceeding all the expectations. And Lorenz is already a second behind. And if Winley can finish ahead of Corleone, then overall Winley will finish ahead of Corleone. So the battle for P7, maybe P8 because Weizen is way ahead. Now Miller dropped Sanago a bit. But this race has been missing the retirements. We haven't seen that much, only Hazard retiring after the crash down his section. Perez is back ahead of Iskandar. Yeah, Perez need those positions. That's Weizen going on for P2. And Weizen up to second. What a recovery drive from the Belgian driver. Oh, and Rosberg going from second to fourth. Weizen was already out of Rosberg. Also, he did what happened into the last corner. Yeah, they just fought too hard. And Weizen got to the inside of Rosberg. Yeah, and I think Winjay used too much of the curve. Which means Weizen is up to P2. This is the last lap. Matter is 8 seconds ahead. I wonder if Winley can catch Kamida, because Kamida been awful this weekend. Now Sanogo Miller. No overtake being done. Jenny drop back. Now Chavari going an hour. Yeah, that's not gonna work. It's far fun. Not able to overtake. Weizen is clear. Rosberg is heading up a lot. No changes. Oh, Kamida is loose and Finley is ahead in the last corner. Matters win the race meanwhile. Let's see what happened in the last corner. There they are on the right hand side. Weizen got second. Winjay is third. Rosberg and P4. Almeida, Winley, Kamida, Lorenzo. Oh, to the line. It was Lorenzo, Perez, Corleone, Iskandar, Jensen, Winfield and Darman is last. Oh, and Sanogo is ahead. Sanago is leading in ITCL. Yeah, with a brave move up here. And the saddest part is that it might not even mean points. For all. Oh! Sanago is around! And Sanago is out! What a dramatic end to ITCL round 12. The Sanago just leading for like 1 kilometer. And then the car got loose and he had to retire. Yeah, the car is off. He's out. He's in a very bad spot. Despotov up to second. Oh, he's holding up Despotov. Despotov off the track. And now Dupuis is stuck behind Sanago and Travayan goes past. And that's a huge blow for Adway. Jenny will also get past. Yeah. Oh, and there is a big crash. Dupuis is finally able to get around Sanago. Well, and Sanago now finally pulled away. So Miller will win the race despite losing P1 just some minutes ago. And Despotov is second. Yeah, so in the end, Despotov will finish ahead of Dupla overall. Travayan will get third. Smith gets P4 again. Jane fifth. Dupla sixth. Oh, and San Martin with a dive on over in the last corner. And San Martin is ahead. Farfan tries a move, but that's not gonna work. There's Chavaria, Christensen, and Menu to close it off. What an end to a race this was. In plenty of talking points here. Let's see the overall result. Okay, so the results are Winfield won overall, then Wunje is second, with Jensen being third. And after Iskandar's heroic first race, then he falls to fourth. No, actually it's Iskander third and Jensen fourth, sorry. And then it's Perez in fifth. Weisen got sixth, purely on race pace after this amazing final run. And Vin Lee got seventh again, so that's 6 points, I think. No, actually, no, it's no, not again. It's Almeida 7th, Windy 8th. But that's still 4 points, if I'm right. Then it's Matters 9th, and Corley on 10th, I think, and Darmo on 11th. And then it's Rosbach and Lorenz and Kamida. Moving to ITC, so we got Chavaria winning the round with Jenny close behind second, and then Trevor Young got third. It's Manu bottled this race, means that he's only fourth. And next is San Martin. Now that's unexpected, with Dupois saving a sixth again. No, it's Despotov in sixth and Dupois in seventh. Followed by Christensen, and Farfan and Hazard closing up the points. And then it's our Miller, Smith and Sanago. Yeah, so overall Waterford gained a lot on Adway, but Liberty also scored massive points. And in WTCL, it was Esther's weekend. It was Ironside 2 seconds, and then Peregrine with the third and fourth, and then yeah, Esther got the first and fourth. And so the main blow for Envy is that they only scored in the second rumble. Yeah, so plenty of talking points as we will start the last part of the season with the last 4 rounds. Now every point really counts from now on. As, Esther probably rebuilt their gap, which was before Imola. Yeah, but Tippergen is now in real danger. Yeah, the ITC, they might need to step up their game because lately they've been not that good as they were in the after the beginning of the season. And they might have to watch out for Liberty because they've been on fire. So that's been all from here. See you next weekend. We will have all series racing. So until then, goodbye.